What's good, YouTube? Today we have a very big update on the market, watching some very interesting things happening. Again, kind of swirling around the Infernoid hype is Left Arm Offering. It's already seeming to settle around $13, but it was at like 7 to 8 as you see, and now there's just not many of them. It goes quickly up to 14 and then higher. There were none listed at all just a day ago. They got bought out. And here's why, though. It actually has merit. It's from Millennium Pack. So, like, not too many of these were opened. And it's a super rare. But the main thing about this is, instead of running 3 copies of Lawn Mowing, now you're running 6. Double is good in a 60-card deck where you're trying to mill out so many of your cards. It's just very good. You don't want to run a lawn mowing deck probably without 3 of these. You're trying to like ditch your Infernoids in hand and ditch your resources to get to lawn mowing to be able to play it. So this is absolutely needed. Very good card. I can see why, and I guess it's really short-sighted that we all didn't see this coming. Over here, it's already $13. So will it settle probably to about 10? Maybe, but it definitely will spike even harder if Infernoids start really imposing themselves on the meta. Another thing to note, Infernoid Pirmais got bought out. You see it's normal down here, $3.64. Now at $7 lowest. Actually, there were some $6 ones on eBay last night, and now they're only 8. So you're actually saving money coming back over to TCG. I'm loving this war where we actually have back and forths between the hype prices now, because TCG players actually fighting back and being lower and geared to sell during this winter kind of format for them. Excuse my nose, I'm a little sniffly. My allergies are really bad today. But yeah, guys, the Infernoid hype train just doesn't seem to stop, and we saw a recent deck list that topped the regionals, and it actually played 3 Pirmais. So I would definitely say that when you're stretching to 60 cards, you're just going to be playing more Infernoid names to be able to do more from your graveyard. And Devyati still sitting at $25 over here, even after a couple days for people who'd want to sell theirs to list theirs. So people don't want to sell them, even at this price, it seems, at least on TCG Player. Like, they're wanting to hold the line there. But on eBay, it's gone down a little. But only 3 listings under 25. So very interesting that it's kind of holding the line above 20 despite several days to fall back down. It's very interesting. Compulsory, I told you all. I told everybody to go trade for theirs now, and there's actually a lot of interesting tech choices for the upcoming meta with this. So, if you don't know, it's really good in Paleozoics, right? And Paleozoics are supposed to get power creeped out and not be a thing, but I'm being told this is also kind of good. There's interruption points in the Junishishi combos where you can play this, as well as points where you can use this against Crystal Wing and the Wind Witches. And excuse me, I can't. These winter allergies are killing me, guys. But yeah, so there's a lot of merit to this. It's actually probably going to be a tech card in the next meta, since Book of Moon's running around as well. And where Book of Moon is effective, usually Compulse can find effectiveness as well. But mainly for Paleozoics. And the lowest is now 30. I showed it off when it was $18. I said, you don't have to buy these, but I would trade for these now. So if you went out and did that, you're staying plus. So congrats for keeping up with the market watches and making something if you managed to grab one while it was lower. And it's even higher on eBay, 34, 35. So again, TCG Player fighting on back here. Pretty insane. The True Kings have fallen. Very interesting. Remember, we showed them off when they were like 5s and 6s to 58 light played, but then it's like they're under $3. And so all this hype circulated them. They're being called the next coming of the Dragon Rulers. They're going to be really insane. But they're just falling. Like, we see it just as cheap here for the most part. Like, about 10 cents is what you're saving by getting this lowest. But it's pretty insane. Like, I can't really fathom why it's gone down when it's so far off. These are ultra rares. This went down to $4 as well. It's actually just insane. I really don't get it. Like, There's so much hype circulating these. There's new support. Everybody's going crazy over the other pieces of support that might even be. People were paying $30 for Ghost Rare, like Ghost Rare dragons that you might not even be playing. And then we see it all the way down to just under 4, and then 4s. Like, this is actually just, I don't know. A lot of people ask me if I would invest in these. I personally haven't because I don't know enough, and maybe that's just how it is. People don't know enough, but I've heard so many good things that it will be impactful, but maybe it's that scrub lord mentality inside me that would hope something like this would be good. So, I don't know. I personally am still not going to go out and trade for too minis, but I'm going to trade for my playsets and have them. And Artifact Scythe has creeped up the super rares now to $4, just to note. I think I've covered this recently since I covered the Ultras, but it's interesting to note that such a high quantity card, both Mega Packed and Prio, that's a 3 of when you're playing these cards, has gone all the way up to almost $4 now. And we see it also at that 350 note. So head to head, dead even for the most part. You only save 2 cents and 1 cent before it goes up, and there's 12 of them though. So you can get your playsets for cheaper. This is from Cyprus and then Canada. So the USA seems to be sold out of cheap Super Sanctums before it goes to 5 on eBay. Very, very interesting overall, because, like I said, that these are non-USA listings, so very interesting. Now, this is what I wanted to do this market watch. This is what actually has me most excited. I want to talk Therio with you on the market. Fairy Tale Snow from Tittle, one of the most open sets, so there should be tons of these running around. This means this card got bought out at the quarter mark, got bought out at the 50-cent mark, got bought out at the 75-cent mark, got bought out at the dollar mark, got bought out at the $1.25 mark, and is now sitting at $1.50, because that's how commons work. There were so many of these, and now it's sitting here, and I can only speculate. Is it lawn mowing? Is it like people hoping for lawn mowing light sworns, or like light sworns to get some power up? And if Minerva got reprinted, imagine what this card is actually just going to spike to 5 if it's a common that's not even being used that much right now in top cut meta decks. It's already at $1.56. I know most of you have these. If you want to go make $1 right now, just list a playset at $3 and you will auto sell. Like, this is actually insane. Like, look at this. It quickly starts to rise. There is 21, but then after that, there's like Ultra Reality holding the line at $2 with 33. So it could be very easy to like just see it shoot up to there. And I cannot fathom why this card is one of the best in the game. It's very similar to Unizombie, a card that will peek in and out of the top cut, but it's only the Minerva decks doing that. And it's not the Minerva deck people buying all these because they only need their set. I guess you could make the joke that like even the commons of Minerva decks are not budget, but this is actually insane to me. So the Therio we're going to talk here is why this has happened. It is a cute girl card, but that's not necessarily it. It does have one of the best effects in the game. It could see synergy with lawn mowing decks. What's cool about it is you can normal summon it and force negate cards like Toad, because it gets this effect when normal or special. So it also would be really good from the graveyard to have disruption. It allows lawn mowing decks to have disruption during the turn. So I have to assume lawn mowing is causing this hype too, that maybe you'll be playing this even in Infernoids, but banishing your resources seems so harsh. But you're banishing so many extra resources that maybe it's not if you get to it. The hype is actually real. It's more on eBay. I've shown you eBay cards. The useless ones sit at 99 cents no matter what. It's almost double that. The line's almost already at $2 over here on eBay. And to show you that I'm not just talking out my butt, here's a girl card that's used heavily in the meta, is a super rare, and has multiple listings with free shipping included, with multiple quantities, so you can just go buy out all Pro Play Games Metal Foe Fusions together at 31 cents. You could buy out 28 of Super Games Inks at 30 cents. Girl card that's highly used in the meta, just not the same. So in terms of availability, I really don't get this because Tittle is one of the most opened sets. So what do you guys think? Is this because of lawn mowing? Is it just like hype? But it's exciting because this is one of our first like commons that's going up in price in a very long time. So it's just very exciting to see this kind of thing happen. And I think it is one of the best cards in the game. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it came out of nowhere and it's trending on TCG Player through multiple of my listings. You can always kind of look below, like I said, we see it appear multiple places. Where was it? Like Left Arm Offering. We see it appear down here. What other card? Randomly saw, well, that's a different Fairy Tale card, so that's kind of funny. We randomly see it under True King. So it's trending enough that it's appearing multiple places on TCG Player as well. So I don't think it's an intentional buyout, it's a common. So I think it's actually just, it's that good and people are speculating perhaps on the lawn mowing hype. That's the only thing I can imagine, but it's definitely interesting, Theorio, to talk about the commons and how they interact with the market. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Give it a thumbs up, or whatever YouTubers say. Thanks for watching, though. For real, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about, like, a common like this that everybody probably has and should be able to flood the market with, sitting at home, just going up.